Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will show the buffs and nerfs and changes this new update in Grow a Garden. Before we proceed, make sure to click the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on your notifications on so you don't miss any new video. Enjoy and have fun! Sorry for not uploading yesterday, I just did celebrate my birthday and do lots of stuff. Once again, thank you so much for all of the supporters, friends, stuff for the greetings. And earlier, I did receive a gift to my friend. A 1SX Bone Blossom and a Kitsune. This is my best birthday gift ever, thank you so much. Alright, now let's per code for the adjustments they did this update. Most of the changes are huge pets and max capped per pets, so make sure to listen every single one of them. They also reverted some of the pets that they nerf. Anyways, let's start for the buff on Capybara. They buff the XP capped it gives to other pets. From 25 XP to 30 XP now. I mean, this buff still affects other players who got full team of huge capybaras. Unlike before, there is no capped about XP that Capybara gives, so this buff still doesn't affect anything. Next is that we got a reverted nerf on Mimic Octopus. They reverted the ability cooldown capped it has. From 1 minute and 25 seconds to 15 seconds now. Those Mimic Octopus owners will be so happy about this. Next is that we got a buff for Fennec Fox. If you don't know, this pet is similar to Red Fox that steals mutation instead of seeds. And it takes forever to success, which makes him useless to use. Then the developers decided to buff its capped cooldown ability. From 2 minutes to 15 seconds now. That's a huge buff for those who got huge Fennec Fox unlimited steal mutation. Next is that we got a buff to all bees that gives pollinated mutation. Including bee, honey bee, petal bee, wasp, tarantula hawk, and queen bee. Those bees has the ability to turn fruit into pollinated mutation. The developers decided to buff the pollinated capped ability. From 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 1 minute now. If you like pollinated mutation, you will like this buff. Next is that we got a reverted nerf to Echo Frog. Its passive of Echo Croc that grows a fruit by instant got a reverted nerf. From 30 seconds back to 15 seconds now. Huge Echo Frog owners will love this reverted nerf. Next is that we got a buff for Scarlet macaw. Its passive of verdant bird that gives a chance to turn random fruit into verdant mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 50 seconds to 15 seconds now. Huge Scarlet macaw owners will love this buff. Next is that we got a buff for Cooked Owl. Its passive of Let Him Cook that gives a chance to turn random fruit into burnt mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 1 minute to 15 seconds now. Huge owners about this pet will benefit a lot. Next is that we got a buff to all cats that has an ability, Cat Nap, including Cat, Tabby Cat, and Moon Cat. Its passive Cat Nap capped ability cooldown has been buffed. From 20 seconds to 5 seconds now. That's a crazy buff for huge cat owners. Next is that we got a buff for Sea Turtle. Its passive of Cell Share that gives XP to a random pet got a cooldown capped buff. From 30 seconds to 20 seconds now. They buff it a little and it's a lot better now. Next is that we got a buff for Meerkat. Its passive of Lookout that gives advanced cooldown to other pets got a cooldown capped buff. From 45 seconds to 15 seconds now. Huge Meerkat will enjoy this. Next is that we got a buff for Butterfly. Its passive of Rainbow Flutter that gives rainbow mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 3 minutes to 15 seconds now. That's a pretty massive buff to huge butterfly owners, they will love this a lot. Next is that we got a buff to all mouse that has an ability Whiskier Wisdom, including Gray Mouse, Brown Mouse, and Mochi Mouse. Its passive of Whiskier Wisdom that gives XP to other pets got a cooldown capped buff. From 60 seconds to 15 seconds now. So if you have huge version of them, you will enjoy the XP. Next is that we got a buff for Hyacinth macaw. Its passive of Cloudtuck bird that gives a chance to turn random fruit into Cloudtuck mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 40 seconds to 15 seconds now. Huge owners will love this buff, even though it's quite rare. Next is that we got a buff for Hamster. Its passive of Hamster wheel that gives crafting speed got a cooldown capped buff. From 20 seconds to 15 seconds now. That's still useful, even though it's a small buff. Next is that we got a nerf for Seagull. Its passive of Scavenger that gives higher lucky harvest chance to duplicate got a nerf capped. It has a capped of 12% stacked now. I don't know if anyone still use Seagull in this update, lol. Next is that we got a buff for Red Fox. Its passive of Scoundrel that steals seeds to a random player's plot for a chance has got a cooldown capped buff. From 40 seconds to 15 seconds now. Huge Red Fox owners will love this a lot. Next is that we got a buff for Spinosaurus. Its passive of Food Chain that devours 3 mutations got cooldown capped buff. From 60 seconds to 15 seconds now. That's crazy overpowered for huge version. Next is that we got a nerf for Koi. Its passive of Scoundrel that hatching eggs has a chance to recover has got a nerf on its passive. It will no longer recover rainbow eggs. Rainbow eggs from premium eggs, that's what I meant. It's still pretty good though. Next is that we got a buff for Disco Bee. Its passive of Disco that has a chance to a random fruit to become a disco mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 60 seconds to 15 seconds now. I missed the 5 seconds old cooldown capped with this pet, but 15 seconds is still good. Next is that we got a buff for Junkbot. Its passive of Oil or Boil that has a chance to a random fruit to become oil mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 1 minute and 30 seconds to 15 seconds now. It's useful now for huge owners of this pet. Next is that we got a buff for Frog. Its passive of Croak that makes fruit instantly grow got a cooldown capped buff. From 60 seconds to 15 seconds now. It's useful now, but Echo Frog is more reliable. Next is that we got a buff for Pterodactyl. Its passive of Sky Reptiles that has a chance to apply a Windstuck mutation got a cooldown capped buff. From 33 seconds to 15 seconds now. I don't know if we still need the mutation it gives, but this is a good buff. Next is that we got a buff for Moth. Its passive of Seek Song that maxed other pets' hunger got a cooldown capped buff. From 1 minute and 10 seconds to 15 seconds now. Unlimited hunger? Use this pet. Huge version will make your pets burp. Next is that we got a buff for Dilophosaurus. Its passive of Frilled Reptiles that gives XP and cooldown reduction got a cooldown capped buff. From 2 minutes to 15 seconds now. Dilo method is back. Huge owners will be so happy about this. Next is that we got a nerf for Seal. Its passive of Seal the Deal that when you sell pets, it has a chance to give the eggs back got a nerf. It will no longer retrieve premium, exotic, and rainbow eggs once you sell the pet from them. It's still useful though, seals and kois are still a good combinations. Next is that we got a buff for Peacock. Its passive of Utter Beauty that advances other pets' cooldown nearby got a cooldown capped buff. From 60 seconds to 15 seconds now. It's pretty cool if you combine this with other pets, especially huge versions. And lastly, we got a buff for Crab. Its passive of Pinch Pocket that robs other players' shekels got a cooldown capped buff. From 30 seconds to 15 seconds now. Imagine having an army of huge crabs maxed out. That would be cool to troll players. That's all the adjustments they did. Credits to Dawn server about this changes. Massive thanks to them. Next video is going to be the most useful method to level up your pets, so get ready. Stay hot and thank you for watching.